This is the introduction of the founding of the KKK. KKK stands for Kataas-Taasan Kagalang-Galangang Katipunan ng Mga Anak ng Bayan, and this will be the representation of Group 3. Objectives. First, how the KKK founded. Second, why the KKK founded. Third, who are those important persons in the KKK?
My name is Jebemel Santiago, BSBA, major in Financial Management, reporter number 1. On July 7, 1892, Jose Rizal was banished in exile to Dapitan in Mindanao. That night, Bonifacio, a member of the La Liga Filipina, with Plata, Diwa, Diaz, Arellano, and Dizon, founded the Katipunan in a house on Azcaraga Street, near Ilcano Street in San Nicolas, Manila. In 1892, after his return from the Americas, Rizal established La Liga Filipina, the Filipino League, a Filipino association organized to seek returns the colonial government. The aims and structure of the Katipunan Andres Bonifacio laid down 3 primary objectives, which is the civic, political, and moral. Katipunan, the secret revolutionary movement founded by Andres Bonifacio on July 7, 1892 in Tondo, Manila. It means kataas-taasan, kagalang-galangan, katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan. The aims of the 3 primary objectives to completely separate the Philippines from Spain after declaring the country's independence. The moral goal was to teach the Filipino good manners, cleanliness, hygiene, fine morals, and how to guard themselves against religious fanaticism.
My name is Vingno and I am from Bukri. My topic focuses on why and where the KKK founded. The KKK established in Tondo, Manila during the 1892, whose primary aim is to have some equality, to have some Filipino representative in the court, and to discuss the individual liberties of Filipino people during the colonization of the Spaniards. Pepe established the La Liga Filipina together with Dizon, Diaz, Plata, Bonifacio, and Diosdado, who became the first Supremo of Katipunan.
Deodato Arellano E. de la Cruz was a Filipino propagandist and the first president of the Katipunan, which was founded at his home in Azcaraga Street, Manila. He was first to be given the title Supremo by the Katipunan. In a secret meeting called in October 1892, Arellano was declared the first president of the association and of its first Supreme Council. As president, he endorsed the laws of the Katipunan formulated by Plata and Diwa. He did not last in that position though.
Diwa and Plata are member of Katipunan and also member of La Liga Filipina, which founded by Rizal. Diwa formed the first triangle of Katipunan and counts as a councilor and a society fiscal, while Plata elected as a secretary that governed by Bonifacio.
Hello everyone, my name is Louie Mae Oriel and I'm the next reporter of group number 3. Melchora Aquino was a Filipino revolutionary and she was known as Tandang Sora. She was also called as the mother of the Katipunan for her contribution or heroic role of feeding and nursing wounded Spaniards in the battlefield. She has a store and she used it as a means to provide the medical care for the soldiers. And one thing is, she not only provided some medical care, but also some encouragement through prayer. Let's proceed to the next one. Gregoria de Jesus E. Alvarez, also known by her nickname, Oriel. She was the founder and vice president of the women's chapter of the Katipunan of the Philippines. She was also the custodian of the documents and seal of the Katipunan. Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Reyalonda, also known as Dr. Jose Rizal. He was born on June 19, 1861 and died on December 30, 1896. He was a Filipino nationalist, writer, and polymath active at the end of the Spanish colonial period. Rizal was not directly a part of the Katipunan and never became involved in the organizations and activities of the Katipunan. But the Katipuneros still looked up to him as a leader, with the name even serving as a password for the higher-ranking members of the movement. Also, Rizal quickly emerged as the leading propagandist. Through his novel Noli Me Tangere, he exposed the corruption of Manila's Spanish society and stimulated the movement for independence. And one thing is, there was a group created by Dr. Jose Rizal on July 3, 1892 in the Philippines. It was called La Liga Filipina. The group aims to unite the whole archipelago into one society with equality for Filipinos and Spaniards in the Philippines.
My name is Baihaera Mantli. I am the reporter from Group 3. Apolinario Mabini E. Maranan was born on July 23, 1864 and died on May 13, 1903. He was a Filipino revolutionary leader, educator, lawyer, and statesman. Mabini lost his legs on polio, that's why he called also a dakilang lumpo ng Katipunan and often referred to as the brain of revolution or utak ng himagsikan as a legal and constitutional advisor to revolutionary government and as the Prime Minister of the Philippines, enjoying the historical struggles of the Filipino people with a coherent ideological orientation. Emilio Jacinto E. Dizon was born on December 15, 1875 and died on April 16, 1899. He was one of the highest-ranking officers in the Philippines Revolution and was one of the highest-ranking officers of the society called Katipunan. Jacinto helped to lead the fight for Filipino independence from Spain. He was known as the brains of Katipunan. He laid out principles for the new government envisioned by Bonifacio. Jacinto commanded Katipunan's troops in several decisive struggles where both sides sustained major losses. The Katipunan movement frightened the Spanish and their supporters in the country.
My name is Kristine Gamboa and I'm the last reporter in Group 3. Andres Bonifacio, also known as a Filipino hero and one of the founder of KKK. He also led the long-planned insurrection on August 1896 in London. But his forces were defeated by Spanish troops and he was forced to retreat Montalban in the north, while Emilio Aguinaldo, one of his lieutenants, carried on resistance as the Spanish systematically routed the insurrectos. It became increasingly clear that Bonifacio was an infected military leader in March 1897. A convention at Tejeros named Aguinaldo rather than Bonifacio, President of the new Philippine Republic. In April 1897, Aguinaldo had Bonifacio arrested and tried for treason. He was executed by a fire squad. Emilio Aguinaldo, also known as former President of the Philippines, in year 1899, he was also joined the Katipunan in year 1895 and became its leader in the Cavite province. Also, Aguinaldo, known as Magdalo, named after Mary Magdalena. In 1896, the armed struggle began in Manila and quickly spread throughout the country. He was born into the local elite of Cavite on the island of Luzon in the Philippines. At the time of his death in 1876, Aguinaldo himself would hold in 1895. The same year, Aguinaldo joined the secret nationalist brotherhood in Katipunan founded by Andres Bonifacio. After the Philippines erupted in revolt against the Spanish in 1896, Aguinaldo won several victories in Cavite province.
Katipunan is also known by its acronym KKK. Being a secret organization, its members are subjected to utmost secrecy and are expected to abide with the rules established by the society. Aspirant applicants were given standard initiation rites to become members of the society. At first, Katipunan was only open for male Filipinos, not later then. Women were accepted in the society. The Katipunan has its own publication, Ang Kalayaan or the Liberty, that had its first and last print on March 1896. The word Katipunan literally means association.